previous life in my career, I did a science. I'm a physicist. I have PhD in physics. But then, by virtue and some circumstances, I shifted to the diplomacy and foreign policy, where I spent quite many years in active diplomatic service. I have interest in making my country a success story in terms of democratic transformation. I graduated my high school in Soviet times, so for us it was a very inspiring moment and the chance for Georgia to really regain statehood and start building a proper state. And some of my friends, we felt obliged that instead of just joining the political activism, or decided to learn how to do real public policies that would make country transform itself faster. So, and the foreign policy and security was my area of interest. So I joined this Institute of Public Administration, graduated with master's degree, and then joined the foreign ministry. Circumstances are changing quite fast and quite dramatically. So living in a constant challenge is, I'm optimistic, that's why I am doing it. Freedom and democracy goes hand in hand in case of transitional countries like Georgia, and it's not guaranteed. The process of democratic transformation is irreversible. It needs constant input, constant efforts and energy. So every generation has its own responsibility for making it happen. And we do things that are related to Georgia's Euro-Atlantic integration, Georgia's NATO membership. Action is the most important in public service, and being a result-oriented, not only theory and the concepts, or waiting for the perfect moment. Perfect moment never comes unless you start acting. There were a few very important reforms that I was part of, like reforming Georgian security services and getting rid of corruption. And it was not my, but our team's effort. And I strongly believe in team effort and not only individualism, especially when it comes to the public service. My work was working for Georgia's national security, elevating threats coming from Russia, and Russia has quite a strong propaganda network in Georgia as well, so they are trying to see the disinformation or personal attacks. That's a common thing, especially you are taking high positions or high political profile. We are at the verge of the historical momentum when countries, whether aspiring democracies or transitional democracies or well-established democracies, are facing very similar problems. And this is the problems related with the authoritarian regimes trying to undermine the idea of democracy. And in every place where they are successful, it's a defeat for ideas and the values of democracy in general. It's our common fight. It's not only Georgians fighting for Georgian democracy. There is no Georgian democracy around. There is a democracy, and there is an authoritarian world that tries to shrink democracy. That is my next goal, to help my country steer processes in the right direction.